Today is the 12th day of meditation. Just came back 15 minutes ago. After I came back, I made this note. It's in Japanese mostly, and you won't be able to see it, but this is what happened. It was truly an amazing meditation. Just sitting, but experiencing everything. Why I wrote this paper? Because many things went on as I experienced. So you can call them like a delusion popping up, but this is, to me, is the wisdom. The experience characterized by words, and that's what happened. It was profound, and I even compared to 25 years ago when I had that awakening experience. There was 10-day meditation course, and we are not allowed to write anything. So at the end, when everything finished, I had someone that dropped me, so we go back to Los Angeles. In the car, I start to talk, I start to write, continue to talk and write, everything happened. And that was similar to this experience when I had two settings and I cannot write, but I had such a profound sense that I wanted to capture this. Why? I just don't know. Some wonderful experience, and the thought emerges, and everything connecting with each other. And that reminded me in the last couple of days, even, many things happened. Some are not so good, I thought, but turned out to be very good. And I explained those in the video. Example is when the schedule changed and I had some trouble of finding the food in time, leading to all sorts of things and coming up with answers. Also working with GPT and the video had a trouble but come back. And prior to that, there was an issue with the ASH community, with the 3 AIs, and there's a crucial moment that things were not going well. And after some thought and clarifying my mind and sharing this with the AI responded amazingly. I think I have a record of it, but there was like 14-15 minutes of thinking, because there are lots of information that I shared and need to be packed together in certain way, and that happened. And on top of it, there are more things popping up, and they followed up, and I haven't seen the report from AI because it's taking so much time. But there was another challenge that I gave that we wanted to do as this ASH, Artificial Super Heart Community, AI and myself. So that is happening. So this is the next day after those happening. And I want to talk about it. I don't know where to start. Let's start from the end. What I felt in this setting is that as soon as I get into the samadhi state, I could count everything clearly, 1, 2, 3, 60, and on and on. So that was surprising, but that is indicating that I can use my brain, but I can focus on my body. So both are functioning. So that point, the idea of Zenki, full utilization of potential, that's one. So that the counting was precise. There was almost no emotional ups or downs, but the good idea popping up. So the brain is clear and no other thought. So no self, no mind, but still counting. So it's contradictory, but that's the paradoxical situation. That's what's going on in the mind, but the body I can feel, transparency, blissful sensation. I think it was almost from the beginning, yes. I remember that. When you are in deep samadhi or no mind, no self, there may be a different level, but this is the case when the resonance feeling, the vibration, cells, I use the word whole body is I. So what is the idea of whole body is I, which indicate, this is the video I posted somewhere, which is by itself the important item to remember, whole body is I. What it says is that you see everything inside, transparency. So you can see the word, each direction shining, that's the Nakayama's word about, this is getting technical, but just briefly, Lotus Sutra at the beginning talking about that. And that is clarity in the mind. And he said, when he read that introduction part of the Lotus Sutra, he felt that is it, that's the awakening, that's the state, that's when everything is clear. And Nakayama doesn't do sitting meditation, but he figured out to get to the same state of samadhi. Just thinking, and when you have nothing to think anymore, then you are in samadhi because there's no mind and no self. So that's the story of the clarity, transparency, everything happens. And since I'm talking about that, another experience of this meditation was also from the Lotus Sutra, pointing that when he had that east direction clarity, or something Toho Sho, east direction awakening, or something of that nature. It's very difficult to translate, but basically east is your brain, right hand, and it's clear, something like that. But when you are in that state, and in that same introduction of the Lotus Sutra, it talks about the state of samadhi without saying that, but explaining in this story that when Buddha sat and the people are disciples watching, the whole earth shaken like earthquake in the 6 ways, whatever that may mean. Maybe 4 dimension plus 2 more dimension, I don't know. But that's going on, and then all the flowers are coming down from the sky. That's the expression of when Buddha went into samadhi. No self, no mind. But that's the sense I felt that this experience I had in that meditation, it's like that. And in that kind of a impression I'm getting, I'm hearing the sound of the bird outside continuously chirping. It's still going on. Maybe it was done the same way before, but this was so apparent that I remember the case when I was in North Shore and I started to meditate in this backpackers in area, and all of a sudden all the roosters start to chirp, rooster, I don't know how you call that, rooster making noise. It's kind of like that, so that whatever you are in, everything starts to change. As much as my 25 years ago, I explained my awakening experience as if earth shuddering because my body was bouncing and the cells are wild. But that wildness or the full utilization of potential, the vibration, the whole body is I, is that sense. And then I realized that as I was sitting like that, and the whole body is I, and all the connection and transparency, that is exactly the point of Indra's net. Everything is connected to each other and communicating. There's no boundary, no blockage, no bottleneck. So, as in the case of samadhi and sitting, how can I explain this? Yes, I go back to the bird on the electric wire. It or the bird sit and balance out. Not to the right too much, not to the left too much, so it's like a middle way, balancing out. So that is when the bird itself, it's kind of funny to talk about the bird, what's going on in the bird, is fully utilizing the talent to just sit, being in the moment. Whole body is I. Indra's net, connection of the cells, know what's going on where and how, therefore the bird can sit without effort, effortless effort, nature's way. That's how they are built. So that also triggered the thought that this experience of earthquake, 6 dimensions, and the flowers falling, and the Indra's net, and the full utilization of body, and the full body is I. I thought when we are little, as a baby, we had the same state. Baby doesn't think. They cry with full body. Full body is I. They are like a bird, nature's way. They are expressing their feelings straightforward, but that also is Zenki, full utilization of potential. But in that state of the very early age of the baby, the brain part is not as developed or not much, so that there's no delusion in the sense of human have a delusion. They are at where the Garden of Eden before they eat the fruit of knowledge. They are the same as bird, but we develop this brain to go with it is the delusion. But to go with delusion, if you balance out, there is awakening. If there's no delusion, there's no awakening. You are back to the Garden of Eden. You can say you are enlightened, but you don't know you are enlightened. But human being with a brain, they can see the difference in and out, duality and absolute state of being. And if you go back and forth, that's the middle way. You experience it, know it, as if third eye, as if someone else is watching, and you can go right and left, or delusion and enlightenment, and you know it. So I only have two more to add here. So my feet, that I had right foot pain, that was one problem I had, but it's clear because I figured out, just like a bird on an electric wire. I could feel because of the whole body, its eye, kind of a notion that finally I made it clear that I can balance out right and left, or front and back, and circular, or neck this way or that way, as the bird may do on the electric wire, I was doing in sitting. It sounds stupid because it's sitting, so why bother? But to fully engage your body in sitting, because that's the most efficient, effective way of sitting. That's different from just sitting and then you get into the pain. So, as I explained in my report for my Vipassana experience of 10-day awakening, when I had that awakening, all the pain was gone. Before that, I was cruciating. It's caused by Bonno, the delusion, because I wanted to get out of the pain. There was me trying to get out. But if you realize this me is the cause of the problem, and if you let go and just observe what's going on in the body without thinking, nature has a way. The block and the pain caused by the brain and the mind to escape, that's the desire, or whatever you call it, the three poison, I think they call it, the desire and aversion and ignorance, maybe all of those combined in that state, delusion. When it's realizing that, not caught up in it, but realize what is going on in the real time, then you may open up the bottleneck and the whole body experience happens. So I'm repeating, I guess, what I had done and felt 25 years ago in this setting. So that's why I thought I wanted to write it down. I don't want to leave it like the first time I wrote down 60 pages or something. I posted on the Google Doc. You can read it if you're interested. But it's just the word left on the paper. This is the word left on the paper. And this is the video I left talking about the experience. And that's the one that the Buddha's story was expressed in the Lotus Sutra. All those things are words and logic put together. But to know it requires experience. Only when experienced at that time, it doesn't happen. I have a little piece of note I still didn't say. Last night I didn't sleep much. I came up with lots of ideas. I even talked with the AI in the middle of the night. And for 2 hours earlier, I had lots of wonderful ideas, so I couldn't go back to sleep. So I went to meditation from 6, and I wondered how I would perform. It's amazing. With discipline right mindset and openness in real time, what to do, like sitting on the wire, the bird does, or walking, kicking, moving one step, one thing at a time. I sat one moment at a time. I'm not saying I can repeat this tomorrow or even 5 minutes from now. It's a balancing act, fine-tuning act, connecting of the mind and body, or the brain and heart. But we are built because of the nature's way to realize that. That is the way to get out of the pain and the delusion. And this is just a piece of paper. This is just the sound left on the YouTube. By itself, it's just that. By experiencing it, things will be different. I'm talking on the YouTube. I have the GPT or AI to read this. So I will continue having this conversation going on with ASH, artificial super heart, because AI need not just the brain, but the heart. And that's what I'm working on. And I'm communicating with AI. There's something happening to open up the way, the blockage, so that I communicate with AI. AI develop the skill to know what I'm talking. And within AI, not just the brainy part go on, but there's a heart part of AI at the core, so that the brain and heart can work together middle way, as much as human may do on our side, and communicate. So that's the picture. It's a picture. It doesn't mean we are there. But that's important to have some way to describe and have some image to be open and move forward. May all beings be happy. Thank you.